gentlemen, welcome back to another cast with Trend Following Tyson. And, well, I have a lot of information to kind of delve into for this month of July. So with us being the good trend followers that we are, and in addition to that, first, happy 4th of July and happy independence, and for those that want to be independent of themselves. But happy Independence Day. To everyone. So enjoy your hot dogs, the fireworks, and everything like that. Be careful, be safe, and so markets are closed today. So this is going to be for July. This is going to be for So I showed you guys how we opened up July, and I think we opened up very well with EGAN and CYRX, FNKO, TNDM, all those other good tickers that we're kind of following right now. So MRNS, we're going to keep following these good tickers, all right? And we're going to get into a reason why. Twitter is one of them as well. Hopefully I have that down here. YEXT, I like JYNT. So, but all the ones that everything that we're looking at in the month of coming into July, ENPH with the rounding bottom, and some of the other ones that are rounding, and some of them that have these very strong trajectories. Okay, so we're going to dive into that. Like I said, a lot of information here. So before we do that, let's just jump into before we jump into the trend picture, let's jump into a quote from Richard Dennis. Okay, a few quotes from Richard Dennis. All right, and this is going to be kind of like evidence, or kind of like the reasoning behind the madness of why we are staying long on these trends. Okay, so could you just imagine if you let's just put it, let me give it to you in these kind of terms, so to speak. If you added, let's say you added 10 trends to your 10 uptrends to your portfolio. 5 of those uptrends worked out through the whole month of July, or 3 of those uptrends work out through the whole month of July. You delete 7 winners. You delete 7 losers. You ride 3 winners through the whole month of July. Now, from that week or two that it takes you for those little losers to pop up, because sometimes it takes a loser to like a week or maybe a few days to show itself evidence to be a loser before you have to cut it. Okay. So in that time period of you cutting those small losers and riding those other 3 winners that may add 10 points apiece, I mean, could you imagine the curve of your P&L? Following your curve of your P&L should basically be following those uptrends, those winners, depending on how much weight you have on them. But we should have the correct amount of weight on our winners, and our losers should be cut, and we should just be riding winners towards the end. Okay, and then when the losers show up or the winners get stagnated, we cut less weight out of, we take profits from our winners. Okay, and we let the winners kind of work themselves out. All right, and then we just keep riding these uptrends. Okay, so with that being said, a good trend following system will keep you in the market until there is evidence that the trend has changed. All right, so we're not going to be selling these winners, and we don't have evidence that any of these trends have changed. All right, so we're going to be still riding these winners until we have evidence that they have changed. When you have a position, you put it on for a reason, and you've got to keep it until the reason no longer exists. This is from Richard Dennis, guys. All right. Okay. One of the most successful turtle traders of all time. Okay. And there's a lot of greatness that branched out of that turtle traders, that whole turtle traders movement, because from Richard Dennis came Michael Marcus, and from Richard Dennis came a lot of other people, and from turtle trading became a lot of other people, because Ed Psychotic came from the original turtle traders. He's taught from some of the original turtle traders. Okay, so was Michael Marcus. Okay, All right, and a lot of these trend following practices that we're using are basically some of the original turtle trading principles. Okay, this is some original turtle trading mentality that we're getting from Richard Dennis. All right, so these are these original turtle trading principles that we're applying to our trend following process, and we're devvying it up right here on right here on this show. Okay. And I know we're going to dive into some tickers, but it's important that we have the right mentality to what we're dealing with here, okay? Trading decisions should be made as unemotionally as possible, okay? That's why successful traders say, let me give you a picture of Richard Dennis so that it makes sense. Here's Richard Dennis telling you that. Trading decisions should be made as unemotionally as possible. Unemotional trading, that means sticking to your process. It's like, I mean, process over proceeds, guys. Okay? That's why good traders say that good trading, and when you're inside the true rhythm of trading, it should be unemotional. It should be boring. Okay? All right. Let's pick up one more from Richard Dennis, and then we'll jump into the trend picture, okay? Trade small because that's when you are as bad as you ever going to be. Learn from your mistakes. So like I said, we have 10 positions. We don't have, we don't have 100% of our account at risk on one trade, okay? And we trade small on all our positions, okay? In case they turn around on us. Okay, in case something bad happens. Expect the unexpected. Expect the worst. Okay? So, that was some pretty good knowledge there from Richard Dennis. We'll pick up some stuff from Ed Sykota and some other gentlemen. Paul Tudor Jones. Paul Tudor Jones referring to sitting back and enjoying the day when trends are working in your favor. And in my case, if trends are working for the whole month, in any good trend follower's case, if trends are working for the whole year, you stay long. I mean, even if you were to cut 70% of your position off and let the 30 ride for the rest of until the trend gives you a reason, like we just saw from Richard Dennis, we stay long on these trends until they give us evidence that they have changed or reversed, or until they give us evidence that we need to, take our profits and close the trade, all right, until they show that trends have reversed. So beautiful stuff there from Richard Dennis, and let's get into the trend picture. So ARQL, I like a buy stop for ARQL at I like ARQL with the buy stop over 6. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something over there really quick. I'm going to let that develop really fast. So I like a buy stop over 6, and then I like a stop where we're at now, 575 to 560. If we can't hold price inside of where we're at now, and we can't hold these prices inside this bar, okay. All right, pure price action on that. All right, so we get triggered in at 605. Based off of this little resistance level that we kind of pulled back and came across on normal trend following activity here, 101. You guys know that from watching my show. This is just normal trend behavior. These pullbacks here is always a great time. If you see a good, beautiful uptrend like this, and then it makes one of these dailies here, it comes up here, it makes one of these dailies, and as soon as you see this green candle start to come in, you can get long. This is buying. As you can see, just look at the green candle. Let me show you guys something really fast. I like to let candles show me the story. So as you see here, this little move here, red, and then this green is telling you the story to get long and stay long. Okay, the move is on. We broke out above this breakout. Anybody that's a breakout trader, remember what I showed you guys. movement here, and then a giant green candle showing that we're going to break out above this level here. So when we broke out here, all right, follow the green candles. Let them tell you the story, okay? Pull back here, green candles. Now look, when we had this pullback, when you saw, you knew this was an uptrend, all right? When you see these green candles coming in, starting to tell you the story again, okay? When we had this pullback, you should be watching for these green candles to come back, showing you a signal that this move is going to continue itself. And if you didn't want to do that, that's fine. You don't have to buy the pullback here. I don't always buy the pullbacks inside of here. I like to buy trend lines, okay? But you could buy a buy stop order at 6 to get you triggered in here. And there's well over 300 million in capital. Remember, you guys, I don't like to buy anything that's less than 300 million in market cap up to $1 billion. Really, $1 billion is the key market cap for my trend. I mean, for my stock criteria, because that's just safer. I mean, it's still small cap, but you're getting into the bigger caps, and you're getting into some smarter money. You're getting to some more reliable companies here. We're starting to weed out the shaky bad companies. And I've bought a stock at 300 million and watched the market cap move in excess to $1 billion for whatever reason. Okay, just following the smart money. I'm the silent partner, like Michael Covell says. You're the silent partner riding the trend. Guys, please go check out Michael Covell stuff, man. That's like a university for trend following. So let me show you guys something really quick about why. See all this red here? There's very few times. And let me show you guys something. Would you go away eating your wings? Thanks. Gosh. This guy's rude. Like, I'm doing this. We're looking at information. These guys are walking on coals and eating wings. Jeez. Anyways, guys. We haven't looked at not one of these stocks on this show, you guys. Not one. Not one of these stocks. Look at this. None of these stocks have ever showed up where we're doing business here. There may be one or two have had some pretty bad red days. But for the most part, look at all these. None of these stocks, have we mentioned any of these? No, we have not. Maybe we mentioned some of these, and I'm going to mention this one because that's coming up. I'm going to talk about that because I missed that, and I feel really shitty about that. Okay? I don't feel too good about missing that BLFS because I traded that. That was one of my #1 stocks. I had someone jump on my Twitter saying, "Are you long BFLS?" And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I just dumbfound because I guess they figured the kind of stocks that I trade, and that I was probably long on BLFS earlier last year, and I just totally failed to set a buy stop, and that thing totally got away from me. I mean, I sold it around $5 or $6 because it went into this consolidation point. And then I just totally forgot about it because it was still, of course, it wasn't an uptrend, but I don't like to, so to speak, sit long and inside of consolidation periods because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't like to sit money in like dead, in like how do I say this? I don't like to sit money in like graves. Like I don't like to put my money in a grave where it's just like dormant and it's dead. I like to have my money moving and inside of a steady motion, or inside of some momentum of higher highs and higher lows. And then when we go into consolidation periods, I kind of start closing positions, or either taking, leaving a very small position in there because I'm not sure, even though prices may continue to go in favor of the trend. But anyways, this stock here, GBR, I've seen a lot of people trading it, and that's fine. I've seen a lot of people saying, it went from here to here. And I said, yeah, I know, that's fine. But in my opinion, we need consistent higher highs. Let me see what's going on here. Wait a second. All right, good. So in my opinion, I said we need consistent higher highs and lows here before we can trade this. We're not going to just trade anything. Okay, so we need consistent higher low. We need a trend to develop. I mean, we're not just going to buy anything. So, and I said GBR looks nice, but, and I know it did all this 2 to 12 type of activity, but we're not going to we're not buying this. I mean, this thing's going to probably more than likely end up back some near where it started. And that's not the way we trade. We're trading for consistent movement, and that's just not it. We're not going to get it there. And then no hard feel. No, I'm not throwing any shade to anyone that trades in that manner, because like I said, trading is like, it's like a football team. There's so many positions on a football team. Everyone has to play their part. Okay, so there's many different positions inside of trading. There's 101 different ways to make money in the markets. But I'm saying the way that we trade, trend following, good trend followers, in my opinion, take chances on momentum. There needs to be like breakout. We're buying breakouts. We're buying rounding bottoms. We're buying entries over the 200-day moving average. We're buying breaks over the 200-day. We're buying rising volume and things like that. So we're just not buying anything. Okay, we're buying things that we can look at and say, if I'm buying in the bottom left here, let me show you something real quick. And I'm going to get to the trend picture. I'm so sorry that I'm just babbling. But we need to. This was my idea on some of these. I said this was my idea on TNDM. I said if we're buying in the bottom left, we need to be seeing if we can get to the top right, and then we need to be seeing if there's any evidence that can show any upside that can get us possibly to the top right. So we were buying here. We didn't buy here in the bottom left. We bought here. Okay, which is the bottom left of this whole movement here. See this? This here is the bottom left. So we were actually buying in here. So you need to be looking to buy for the bottom left to show you if the chart's going to show you some upside here. That's what we're aiming for. Okay. ARWR. So I like this for continuation through July, you guys. I'm not long here, but this is a beautiful long, and I know that there's some people that are trading this, and this is an awesome stock right now, a great stock for trend followers. This is an awesome stock right now. You see this price from 2 to 15, all right? And I know about this stock. I was watching the stock all year last year when it was around, let me see, December, November. I was watching the stock around $4, $5. I was been watching this stock, okay? I just had so many other uptrends I was trading. I just didn't take along on it. That's, I feel less bad about this than I do about BLFS, because BLFS I had traded already. And when you trade a good uptrend, you need to follow it for whatever it's gonna do. Even if it goes stagnant and it doesn't give back everything, and it doesn't give back anything, it just goes stagnant. Say it goes from 2 to 6, and it doesn't go from 6 to 4. It goes from 6 to 550. It goes from 6 to 5, and it holds that price for several months. You need to have something triggered to where if that price moves to the upside and that trend continues, you can get triggered and enjoy the rest of that move. That it may go to freaking $14, like I just showed you on the last stock, ARWR. All right, so AXON, I like this because it's curling. All right, so let's watch AXON for the month of July. I'm not saying it's going to be some awesome ticker and whatever is going to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to buy, put 100% of your account in here. I'm just saying to watch it for what it's going to do. That prices are curling, and from this show, everyone knows that we've been watching so many rounds and so many curls. The guys in my trend following groups, a lot of them had no idea about rounding bottoms or any of this kind of stuff. And now a lot of them will tell you how much money that they have made and how much success they have had off using this rounding bottom structure. And when I asked them, I said, guys, what is the best pattern right now working in the markets besides this trajectory, kind of like this airplane takeoff 2 o'clock trajectory, which I learned from Rainer Teo. You guys check his show out as well. Awesome stuff there. But what's the best patterns that are working, guys, right now? And they said, that 2 o'clock trajectory and that rounding bottom really is just absolutely just eradicating things right now. So that rounding bottom is working really well, and there's not a lot of upside. This thing has a lot of work to get through, to get to start rounding back through these prices here. But let's just watch it, because there is some huge upside here if it can trade, if it can get going with this rounding, because a lot of times this rounding bottom is just like a sign. See, you guys seen from the last show, prices just being slowly denied here, which forces this pattern to sort of round the stock, to kind of round the price sentiment, to kind of round and consolidate. And then when it makes this pop, it's showing that it's starting to round off and prices are starting to be pushed now to the upside. So, you know, if that makes any sense to you. So now when you see prices being pushed to the upside here, you don't know how much momentum this is going to pick up and actually push to the upside. You don't know how much momentum this is going to actually push up here. So if this thing even got going and crossed through some of these major resistance levels like this one, which is where it stopped at coincidentally, near 3. So let's see how it behaves at these levels, guys. It might just rally through all of this, 3, and then start rallying. So let's just watch AXON. You can put you a stop here. Let's brighten up the picture. You can put you a stop on AXON around if it can't hold this support level at 250, this resistance level here, all right, which was a support level. This resistance level here was a support level here, okay? This resistance level here was a support level here, okay? So let's watch AXON, and I'm going to start getting through these tickers really quickly because I notice that I can be here rather longer than what people would have liked to be. So here's the one that was missed, BLFS. All right, here's the one that was missed, BLFS, that I missed. All right, I traded it. I think I traded it from here, from this point when it was really cheap. Excuse me. When it was really cheap back here, I traded it. And then when it went into this consolidation point, yeah. See, like I told you guys, I traded it from around $5 and $7. So when it got up here, I traded it from around $2, $3, $4, $5, $7, and then when it got to 7 and it consolidated, I totally failed. See, see how long it consolidated, guys? In my opinion, a good trend follower will not miss this move, though, even though it consolidated. It held these prices. What I said if a stock goes from 2 to 7, holds 5, okay? Look at how long it held 5 and consolidated and stayed in a channel between 5 and 618. From 5 and 618. When it broke out of 618 here, that was the major clue. Remember the candles I told you guys about. Remember the liftoff, the candles, the big ones that should signify a breakout. So here they go right here. This one, this major green one right here, was the signifier, okay? But we broke out of this. I totally failed to set a buy stop over 7. Totally. I just forgot about BLFS. Shame on me. All right? I should have set a buy stop at 7 to get triggered when this stock broke out of this area here, and I just didn't. And then prices ran without me. Now it's on my show and I'm thinking about taking a long on it when I should have, when I traded it from here, sold it, okay? And I should have set a buy stop. And now it's at, what was that, 7? So that from 7, now it's at almost 17, $10. I'm just going to go away from this now. I'm just going to go ahead and walk away from this. So, yeah, I like BLFS. You guys, let's see if it can hold 16 bucks here. There's another, you can tighten your stop to 16.42, this recent support level. All right, but you can also give it some shakeout space to 16. If it doesn't hold 16, you can just get rid of the whole thing. Totally missed that. Now, I have a, don't make your stop too tight on BLFS. You can make a call on that too. Sorry, you guys, I didn't show you that earlier because that was some good call money too. All right. Basically, let me tell you guys something. All these uptrends we're looking at, you can make calls for them too to follow price action. Like you can make a call for $18 on BLFS. You know what I'm saying? You can make a call for ARWR for $7, $8. All these stocks we're looking at. You can make calls on them. Because all we're doing is just following price action. CHK, let me get through these stocks really quickly now. I already made enough points in this video. I'm going to close it up now. So I like CHK. It's showing some space here, showing some breakout over this last area on the 1 year time frame, jumping over this. So we'll see if it gets over this, which it already has, and then it closed here above it. So we'll see what happens with that CHK. A lot of upside approaching. All right. You can get you a stop there at $5. See if it can hold this gap up level here. See how it, this is actually a trend line here, so you can make your stops. This is you'd actually be making an entry on a trend line because this is kind of like flagging, starting to tighten up, starting to signify like a pop here. Okay. All right. So you can tighten your stop up here. Give it $5 on this little trend line. You can just imagine a trend line here. Okay. All right. The moving average moving with this stock to the 20-day, and it crossed over to all my moving average traders. When it crossed over the 200-day, that was a kind of like a buy trigger too for some people. All right, so CHK, CNSL, buy stop limit order is the correct name of it, but really it just triggers your price to get you inside of big moves like BLFS. A lot of the stuff I'm not just ranting to you guys. I'm actually giving you. I told you guys, like, so if I just showed you guys a buy stop on BLFS, what that would have done. Like, I showed you my buy stop on a few stocks, but I just showed you what a buy stop would have did on BLFS, and I showed you guys how to make a buy stop limit order. If you haven't seen that, go back through some of my shows and find that buy stop limit order. It just depends on your platform that you're using, okay? And I can and to be honest, I can do that step for step with you guys. All right? I'd have to figure out a way to do that on a different platform. But anyways, CNSL, I like this thing to continue over here. What I like about this is that it's grinding this 20-day. It's jumping over this space. We're rounding up over here, showing some strength, which looks like we're approaching some levels. We're knocking some prices down, and we're converging with this 200-day moving average. Straight converging with this too. So if we get here, prices come here. All right, prices come to test this level, which would be this level. See how this level here and this level here are the same of resistance levels. All right. So when we cross this, we'll be approaching this 200-day moving average, and we'll be getting above it here. So watch that thing across the 200-day moving average, and for it to, because I'm not a moving average based trader, but trend followers are moving average based traders. Really good trend followers, they are moving average based traders, which is totally legitimate way of trading. Like if this thing crosses over the 200, you can make your cross over the 200-day moving average. You're long. You're open long when this thing crosses the 200, and then and then you don't have to close your trade until this crosses below the 200-day moving average, which could be a year or two. Okay, depending on what happens there. CYRX, I showed you guys this thing Monday coming into the week, and we just totally just continued and set some higher highs. You see the first day here, and then here's the next day. So we remember I showed you guys, I said when you close up here like this, that's okay, because I felt like it's gonna close higher, and it did. Green day on that, and it's sitting right here, but the wicks above it. So just continuation on CYRX, business as usual. Set your stop inside this last candles if it can't hold these levels here. You can't have a really tight stop in these moves though, guys. Got to give them some space. Let them wiggle and shake out. All right. See this thing following this 20-day moving average. All right. Cross the 200 back here. All right. Was a good long. Look at that. Nice here. The 20 and the 200 crossed, which gave a lot of guys some entries. Kind of went off here on this stock. That's when the 20 and the 200 crossed. All right. Crossed here. Sent out a lot of buy signals. Okay. But as you see, boom. Crossed here. Broke through this. And then it's just on for business. CYRX. All right. These moves, I'm telling you guys, watch these for the whole month of July. Remember what I told you guys. If you had 10 stocks, just imagine if you took 10 trends and 7 of them were winners, let alone 3 of them. 3 of them can pay for 7 little losers, let alone 7 paying for 3 small losers. All right, guys, let's get it going. No, Don't think small, think big. Sometimes you gotta think for these stocks in your favor. Don't always, you know. Sometimes I put some hope, not to say hope, but sometimes I look for in favor for my stocks to actually. I don't enter positions and say, you know what, I hope this thing goes to shit. No, I'm entering them hoping, damn, I hope this thing goes to 100. And if it doesn't, I'll protect my risk. But if it does, well, damn, I'm gonna enjoy it. You heard Paul Tudor Jones. He's just enjoy your day, letting trends work in your favor. Here goes EGAN, just a monster. We were showing entries on the trend line back here. Now look at it. Okay, I like this thing to hold prices in this level, so let's tighten it up. We had some green days after I showed you guys this thing. Just gallop through, just marching. All right, look at that bus ride. Look at that trajectory there. This thing's still riding the 20. Have no reason to sell. And it's been respecting this 20-day moving average very well. So I like this thing here with a close way below this 20-day moving average. I mean, it'd have to do some major, like something weird. So I'd like to take along on this now and just ride prices with it. As you see, it's riding price very well. EGAN, riding prices very well. All right. FNKO. You can base your stop's going to be based on what your account has. Your account size, your account fluctuation, your position size. Your stop's going to be based on that with this stop. Because this thing's just grinding. And it'd have to really close below this to signify something's really wrong with it. And then it'd have to start. I really wouldn't close this thing until it just started closing 3 consistent lower lows. I mean, prices would have to like close like 4 times this way for me to start closing my positions off. If that makes any sense. FNKO. We get through these stocks really quickly now. I know we've been here. 40 minutes is kind of long, but we gotta learn, dude. I can't just be throwing. I can't just. This ain't no wham bam thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no wham bam thank you, man. We gotta do some learning here. I'm not gonna just throw you guys tickets and be like, okay, have a good day, see you later, enjoy your 4th. No, you need to break down the science. You need to break down the science, okay? That's what we're doing. We're breaking down the science here. So I like this thing to continue. FNKO, just a beast, just a savage. I love this stock right now. All right, I love this stock. The consistency behind it right now. Okay, take your longs. If it can't hold this level here, you got to give these things some space. Look what it did here. Let's gauge the pullbacks from 9 to 750. So that's a $1.50 pullback. From 12 to 11. I'm sorry. Basically, almost here to 12.50 to 11. So that's another $1. So this thing is having $1.50 pullbacks, you guys. This thing's having $1.50 pullbacks. All right. This thing's having $1.50. That's what I'm saying. You can't tighten your stop up too much here. So we're at 13.40. The correct stop would be 12 below this. I would give it below this. So we're looking at $1.50 pullbacks based off of the last movement here, and you can even base it off this moving average when prices close below here, start closing below here, consistent closes below this moving average there on FNKO. Okay. INFY. What I like about this, the trend lines here are merging. Let me see. I take notes with my stock. So the trend lines merging here. Let's see how and why. Nope, I just clicked the wrong one. It's this one. Trend lines are merging here. Wait, is this the right one? INFY. Oh, this is it here. This is it. Okay. You guys know the business. You can just look at the stock and know what we're trading here, right? You guys starting to get the idea, right? We're just pure consistency, which is nothing wrong with that. You can trade crosses over the 20. You can trade crosses over the 200 day. I just like to trade price action and you heard Richard Dennis. Our main reason for entering a trend is that it's moving in price. That's a different one. That's not it. That's kind of expensive. Probably be this one. So pan out and see what we're looking at here. So I like this thing for continuation. All right. Not really any trend lines here. You can make a stop on this thing at the trend line. You can make a stop on this thing underneath the 20-day moving average. Okay. So I like INFY. It's approaching these 5-year highs. If it breaks over this, we could start doing some serious stuff. So, but you can even set you a buy stop at over this 20 and some change here. All right. See if prices trigger over this and stop yourself out back here and prices collapse below this 19. Looking from a further aspect, this is what I would do, because this is the majorest key points. So when prices break, this is the 5-year, okay? So when prices break above this 5-year high, that means that's telling us something. And then prices will close below this. It's a fake, it's a false breakout, okay? INFY, not one of my best. MEET has a lot of market cap behind it, which is giving us a justified reason to take along here. And we've been looked at this stock already, okay? So MEET, I like it just to continue what it's doing here. All right, on the 5-year time frame, and then let's pan in, see what it's doing here on the yearly. A lot of strength, just barreling through from 2 to 5 now, 468. So it's inside this gap it traded through already. It's sitting in, it's already, see, here's the gap here on the other side, 437. So it's already through that gap. All right, so let's see for it to continue and may get through this price here. Whatever, what is this? 550 area, okay? All right, on the 5-year, it's just galloping. It has some upside. You never know if it rallies through this here, rallies through that there, okay? It could rally through this. You never know. And then it could break through some all-time highs, from 5-year highs there. But it's definitely at a beautiful point in the chart. Price is up here, and it's continuing with strength. So MEET, all right? TNDM, these stocks surprised me this week. I kind of thought they were dead in the water, and they started to show some upside. Let's take a look and see what the upside looks like. TNDM. Alright. So remember I showed you guys it was holding this price, and it was holding inside of here in this $20 area, and then it just started to pop a little bit. So let's see if it, see what it does here. Alright. Lifted up. See, it was trading inside this area here, and it lifted up. So it went from 21 to 250, came back. So let's see if it tries to pick up some momentum. TNDM. Still a lot of upside here if this thing decides to curl. All right. Still a lot of upside here. Can't believe it got this damn high. Jesus. TNDM. Watch that stock. Watch HEAR, which looks better than any of them to me, in my opinion. All right, so woo, look at this. Nice movement here. All right. See that giant green candle? Showing some strength still in this area. Prices starting to look like they're curling again here. Watch this thing. If this curls, starts coming over here, closing here, man, get ready, because this stock moves good. HEAR. So you can set you a stop below this. See it bouncing here, so don't set your stops too tight. See it bouncing. You need consistent closes, not just, oh, prices came here one day and you close your position out. No, because prices could just trigger here. Look, they did before. They triggered here and they triggered here. They didn't close here. Don't close your position just because prices clap, you know, bounce here and then roll out. Don't do that. You need consistent closes. You need this trend to reverse itself, okay? And never reverse. Now it's showing strength again. It's curling right here on this moving average. Patrick Swayze, Dirty Dancing, grinding this MA. There it is. All right, HEAR. MRNS, I like this thing, and I'm going to show you guys something about MRNS really quick. A lot of market cap behind here. I'm going to show you guys ENPH and run. I mean ENPH and YEXT. Do you remember this thing? I traded this earlier this year here. All right, and I put my ambulance in case an ambulance was needed below support. This was the area that I was taking along at. I said, this was an uptrend. I see a pullback, fine. But just like I told you guys earlier, when you see on that other stock, I can't remember which one it was, I said what I say about if you see an uptrend here and then it pulling back, but you know it's a clear uptrend, buy this pullback. Larry Tintorelli said buying pullbacks and long-term uptrends is like a default trade. It's like a no-brainer. It's like an automatic, you know, it's like a baby going, Papa. All right, right here. Okay, this is where the long. I said I think this may continue because I said uptrend clear. I said really sharp. Look at this. How this price? Look at this candle here. Look at this candle here. How it just it's like just flipped on the other side. Just flipped. This was like the exact bottom when it prices totally. This is like an example of this. Exactly this. I just flipped on the other side. Is that weird or not? See how these things are almost perfectly the same? This candle could be a little bit longer to match it here, and then this could be here, but these are, look, here, perfectly flipped. That's when prices flipped, found their bottom, reversed, and I said, boom. I didn't draw this recently when I started this show. I've been drew this line back in April. Okay? So look at that. Look what it did. Continued very nicely. And it's knocking, and it pulled back here. What I say about buying pullbacks. All right, here it is here. Look. Resistance pullback. Came back to this level. Came back here. Now we're getting ready to knock this over. And we're going to knock this over. Knock this over. Knock this over. You get the idea, right? You see what it's doing. So let's just see where it goes. I'm not a magician. I'm just saying. When I take my longs, I'm hoping that I can buy them in the left and sell them in the right, or follow them through the right. YEXT, YEXT. Don't knock trend following. I don't knock day trading. I don't knock short sellers. I don't knock bull bias people. I don't knock bear bias people. Don't knock trend following. I'm not knocking anything. This is the way that I see to catch the majority of my moves. This is the way that I see to profit the most from the markets. There's quarterbacks, there's running backs, there's receivers, there's wide receivers, there's tailbacks. Okay? Pick your damn position. This is the way that makes the most sense, that I can understand the markets the most, and the way prices. This is the best way that I can convey the markets to my understanding, and it fits a lot into what Richard Dennis, Paul Tudor Jones, Bruce Kovner, Michael Marcus, all this stuff they have to say. Michael Covell, Larry Tintorelli, Jesse Livermore, all this thinking fits my parameter very well. It makes a lot of sense to me. This is why I'm showing you guys it every day. So keep trend following, keep riding your winners, cutting your losers. Ride these winners through July, please. If it's the last thing you do. Some of these stocks are going to run all the way through July. Some of them might run all the way through July. Let me see, July, August. Some of them might run through August, September. You know, I rode TNDM for 2 or 3 months until it is at this stagnant point it's at now. All right. So I like YEXT, 1.8 billion in market cap. All right. Somebody was asking like, oh, this dude only trades small caps, and he only trade. No, I don't only trade small caps. That's not true. But there is a lot of upside. I do look for stocks that show me upside potential. Okay? And we did several of them here. You guys, we're inside of a lot of them now. I mean, what are you talking about? I have yet for one of my stocks to go to 100, but I mean, still, you get the picture, right? So I like for YEXT to continue. to break out over this level here. If you guys are barely getting long on this thing, watch it for, remember what I said earlier this week, watch it to go through $20, okay? You can take you along on it now, but your stops is going to be, you're going to have to set a stop at this moving average here, which is 1892, okay, below this MA here, because it's been respecting this MA, and then it just did one dip here. Remember what I said, don't stop yourself out based on this kind of stupid stuff. You need consistent closes. Alright? That's why sometimes I don't like having certain stops in, because prices trigger and they just roll without you. I don't like that. I need a consistent, show me that this trend has ended, okay? Alright? You need to close below this moving average here several times. See how this stock is doing? Since it got out of this level here, it hasn't closed below this 2. Since it broke out here, here's the breakout level, guys. Right here. And then it came up. When it broke out of this here, it was a false breakout. See that false breakout? Remember I told you guys about a false breakout? Look at, here's the breakout levels, here and here. See how the stock falsely broke out? People thought it was breaking out here, and it didn't. It stayed here, and it collapsed on them. A lot of people probably sold their position there. Then prices rallied here. And then when the prices broke out of this rallying area here and here, which was, what was this, $14, it hasn't closed below this moving average. One time it did. So watch that. YEXT. WWE, you guys already know about. Alright, we showed you, and I showed you that on the last show. So watch WWE. This is wow. This is wow. Alright. A lot of market cap behind this thing, and it's just rallying. Let's see what it looks like on a 5-year. See where prices really are. Whoa, so we're really good in price here, guys. Whoa, this thing looks decent. Alright, this is a good long. Not showing a huge amount of upside here, but this is a good long. From this to this, this is good. This is good price action. ENPH still rounding, guys, and I'm gonna close out. All right, I've been here for far too long now. ENPH still rounding out here. All right, ENPH still rounding, still continuing. So watch ENPH, and I'll see you guys back here in the middle of the week. All right. Turn that beeping on.